he's on that side, which he has been once or twice, that he tracks back, or whether it's Pepe.
It's their third meeting this season, 3-1 in the league at Anfield in August, and an extraordinary 5-all game in the Carabao Cup, which Liverpool eventually did win on penalties. Robertson, Mane, Aubameyang sitting it out, of course. It gives him less minutes to try and catch Jamie Vardy in the golden boot race. Goals have suddenly started flying in after a rather tentative start to the scoring side of restart. Harry Kane got a couple today. So the leading contenders, Sterling and Jimenez, not far behind.
Aubameyang might have got one at Tottenham the other day. It was a bitter pill to swallow, that defeat for Arsenal.
He had 3 good chances, didn't he, by his standards. One with the missed kick, he hit the bar, and then Hugo Lloris make a terrific save. Lacazette scored a stunning goal. Fabinho. Fixture down the years with plenty of fireworks. There's going off on the far side. The Liverpool fans might be in town, or the London-based Liverpool fans making a statement. We had some of that when Klopp's men played at Manchester City.
Don't mind that. Fireworks into the atmosphere.
Has Alisson prevented the corner? I don't think he has. It's nice work by Saka to try and get the cross in.
He's got a few assists to his name, Saka, this season.
Yeah, 12 in all competitions. Fantastic for an 18-year-old. Arsenal have a corner.
I wonder what he would say his best position is.
Anyone in the first 11, I would guess.
Yes, at the moment, definitely.
Carefully thought out corner routine, very carefully thought out. Cedric gets across the face of the goal. It came back to him, but he was losing his balance and lost the ball. The former gunner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, leads the charge out. Typical ball carrying from him. Let's change with Robertson. With him earlier today, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. They trained at the Norian Stadium, not too far away from here. Brisbane Road. It's, again, a sort of opening really of the lifestyle, if you like, of these Premier League clubs, that they could travel down yesterday, Liverpool, stay in a hotel with confidence, train elsewhere with confidence, not a Premier League stadium. Encouraging as an exercise. Whether it works, get the performance, we'll find out. Here's Joe Gomez, who is a Londoner and normally would have a lot of family in the stadium. Torreira, good to see him back. Nasty ankle break in the FA Cup at Portsmouth very early in the year. A couple of substitute outings since restart.
I think there's a lot more to come from him in an Arsenal shirt under Arteta. Ceballos and Xhaka just developed a nice little partnership in the middle of the park, but he's a different sort of player, more tenacious, isn't he? Loves to get his foot in.
He has a little knack, there you go, scoring against Liverpool. Doesn't really score against anybody else, but champions be warned. Arsenal do in this trouble season, if you like, compared to bygone times anyway. They do have one stat to clutch hold of, which is their unbeaten home record in the Premier League in this calendar year. All the 3 home defeats incidentally came in December of last year. Liverpool need to win. Set new marks against Manchester City. Keeping abreast with the Manchester City fallout from rival Premier League clubs. Spoke up, certainly not in City's favour, playing each other here tonight. A bit awkward for Mikel Arteta, of course, has strong allegiances. He knows at the Etihad Stadium. Here's Robertson. Wijnaldum. Alexander-Arnold. Break from the starting 11 in the last game. They gave Burnley plenty to work with. Nico Williams actually on a start. There's now, in the last 5 Premier League games, have got himself qualification for a medal. That medal ceremony will be for you to watch on Sky Sports tonight. It's going to be quite lavish, we understand. There's a game and then a gala afterwards, really.
Well, Arsenal conceded from a corner late on against Tottenham when the delivery was spot on, and he doesn't normally disappoint.
Yes, and they're leaving out Mustafi and Kolasinac, two of the bigger defenders. Away by Cedric. Gomez just got away with that. Nearly stole it from him. Looks like Chamberlain. Up in the middle, Liverpool again. To Van Dijk. Get into a shooting position. Salah was arm raised for play to the far post. Fabinho. Arsenal survived.
Likes those little diagonal ones, doesn't he, Fabinho? He set up Robertson's header the other day against Burnley. This time not quite on the money.
Martinez from Argentina might just be getting a call-up when international football starts again. He's been in the senior squad before, but got a cap. He's been doing, as you said, Alan, before the game kicked off, he's been in excellent form. He's waiting for the opportunity. He's waited 10 years to have a run in the team in the Premier League. Been that long. The Argentina manager, Lionel Scaloni, Liverpool fans might remember because he was right back for West Ham in that cup final in 2006. Actually knocked a wayward ball right at the end, which led to Steven Gerrard getting the equaliser. Of course, Liverpool went on to win over the course of 2 hours through penalties. Here's Robertson. Challenged by holding. Referee Tierney says that's a foul.
Yeah, Liverpool starting to play a fair bit of football in Arsenal's half now. Holding getting nice and tight. Too tight in the event. Surprised actually he fell out of contention. I gave him man of the match at Southampton and he didn't start a game since. But I think definitely he's a defender of promise.
Yes, and Socrates has played a lot of games this time here. He's not featured since the restart. He's on the bench again tonight. Alexander-Arnold leaves it for Robertson. Keeper Martinez. The problem for Emi Martinez earlier in his career was he was too much timber on. He's got away with that. Goodness me. That's another first mistake he's made since he got into the team. That could have flown in off Bobby Firmino.
Yeah, we've seen it happen a few times where the striker does get that little bit of luck and it ends up in the back of the net. This time clipping the outside of the post. I built it up too much beforehand, saying he'd been practically flawless. Certainly wasn't there.
Mentioned the Southampton game. Of course, it went Arsenal's way, didn't it?
Yeah.
And Nketiah stole the goal off Alex McCarthy. That kind of circumstance. Get his feet back on the ground, Martinez. Talking about timber, it hit the timber behind him. was asked about his goalkeeper press conference yesterday and said he's got to keep doing it. You know, he's not the finished article yet. He's certainly going to finish this season in goal, and we'll wait to see when the competition with Leno starts up again, when the usual number one is fit.
Yeah, I get the feeling that he may have surprised one or two on the coaching staff. As Arteta says, it's not about 6 or 7 games, it's about a full season of consistency and beyond.
Our colleague Gary Neville always talks about having 100 league games under your belt before you're a real player. I guess that applies to goalkeepers as well as outfield players. So it's a good benchmark. Here's Mane. Well past that target. Firmino. David Luiz. Trying to steer it on. Gomez in. A bit too quickly, hurried the pass in the air.
A stifling Arsenal though, pressing quite well, denying the home team any chance to get things going in terms of their passing.
It's only the 3rd time they've been the home team since the restart. It's their 9th game in June and July. Often the schedule has given them less prep time than their opponents, like tonight. Liverpool played on Saturday, Arsenal on Sunday. And a slow start from the Gunners here. Was offside. Mind you, they had that 48 hours ahead of Spurs, didn't they? And didn't get them the result. It was in their favour. So winning at Newcastle today, as far as the North London rivalry is concerned, Spurs might be over the hill and far away.
Yeah, that 5-point gap will feel very nice for Tottenham supporters, I'm sure.
To explain to Torreira you're required to just calm down a bit. Again, Alexander-Arnold has come across. That's the last one to Robertson. Leaves this one to Robertson as well. It's a very good lead by Holding. Lacazette's caught on the edge of his own penalty area. He's caught in a different sense at the end. He solved the problem. He got bowled over.
Yeah, nervous moment there for the centre forward, giving it away. It's not where he wants to be playing his football, Lacazette.
Van Dijk playing his 200th game in English football. Similar to Southampton. Reece Nelson's been knocking on the door since he came back from his loan last season in German football.
Yeah, he's been up and down, I'd say, but Nelson never really done enough to win a run of games to impress the manager. But he's a young boy still.
I think the youth in the squad has impressed the manager. Saka, of course, Milik as well, and Ketia, they've got very high hopes for him. He's suspended. Against Leicester here. Arsenal appealed against, but got no joy.
Surprised they did appeal against that one.
Get any further punishment which you can get from what they term, I believe, a frivolous appeal. I think because it was given as a yellow card first up, maybe they got the 3-game ban, come back to 2. It's happened before. Robertson. Now Van Dijk. Wijnaldum. Chamberlain. Alexander Arnold, good interception by Granit Xhaka. Some talk in these parts over the last 48 hours or so that Arsenal could look at Liverpool as a model, really, that they were perhaps in the most consistent of shapes until they invested in the right kind of centre-back, the right kind of goalkeeper, and things have all fallen into place elsewhere. It's quite a quick fix. It's a blueprint for a fix. Those two really highlighting it. They don't come cheap, Alan, do they?
No, they don't, but it's important that everybody's singing off the same hymn sheet. And there's a suspicion at Arsenal that that might not be the case, as opposed to Liverpool.
This time, took a little bit of time, Martinez, but he got it away safely. Here comes Firmino. Got that fluke goal, and Mane gets a proper goal. And Arsenal have been on the back foot, and now they're a goal back.
No, they've been totally dominant for the first 20 minutes. No real surprise that the side that's got the first goal, Robertson, has been bombing on. He's had the freedom quite often of that left flank, and he's got the time to just swivel. David Luiz cannot get across, and that's a simple finish. Looks easy, but there's an understanding between these Liverpool players.
It's another assist for Robertson. It's another goal for Mane. It's the Liverpool recipe. Happy return to the ground where he first played in 2014, a League Cup tie here with Southampton. Hesitation from Alisson. Couldn't pick out Lacazette or Pepe.
Oh, what a chance that was. He wasn't even close, really, to picking out Pepe. I think it was his target.
It's Mane. The deflection on the shot. Martinez hung on. So win it back again, high up. Firmino done very brightly. Chamberlain, he'd love to get a goal here. They set one up. Salah going in. Corner.
Just been a dozy start for Arsenal. Slower to the ball than Liverpool 9 times out of 10. Might have been flagged off, but he's got the time to lift his head. I don't know in the end what he did try and do.
Liverpool so good in the air. They scored 16 headers amongst their Premier League goals this season. Top of the list is Van Dijk with 4. There he is. We've been talking, Alan, about Arsenal making the changes with Saturday in mind, but they've also made changes with the general level of stamina. When the players reported back after the defeat to Tottenham, obviously crestfallen emotionally, pretty whacked from the schedule so far. As I said earlier, a lot of away games.
I mean, of course, a lot of games in quick succession are going to be tough, but even tougher because the adrenaline's not pumping in the same way with these players, so you can't really push yourself through quite so easily without supporters in the ground.
Firmino, Mane wants it. Now it's Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is trying to get it back to Mane. You have to hand it to Liverpool. It's been an excellent first half of the first half, and the job's done, as we said earlier, in winning the title, but they're playing as if this game, the points to be accrued, would actually win them the championship. Bang in the face to Herrera. might have been the guilty party. He's trying to follow Sadio Mane again. Hung up by Robertson, then by David Luiz. Goes out of Mane's head.
You wouldn't fancy Torreira in an aerial challenge with Mane, would you really?
No, but I guess he's quite skilled at knocking him at the right moment off his path towards the ball. Anyway, it's only one, but it's been very good from Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp, who talks about consistency of performance when he's getting it here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big gulf in class between the two teams. You've only got to look at the table to realise that, and we've seen it out on the pitch in that first 20-odd minutes. Only been one team in it. There's a muscle memory about this Liverpool side, isn't there?
He has all the energy of a young manager. He knows his team have got big problems here, but it's only the one. It's played in Merseyside derbies for Everton, Mikel Arteta. Scored a goal in a Merseyside derby, got sent off in a Merseyside derby. Arsenal were the team that had less of the ball on Sunday. Tottenham went one up but lost, so maybe they can find that formula of coming back that Mourinho's men did. Mane, Alexander-Arnold. Usually plenty of goals around when these two teams do meet. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Salah! Still chasing what would be a third consecutive golden boot. But this particular boot tonight wasn't quite close enough to that cross. Fabinho. Tierney lets it run.
I've barely seen Arsenal pass the ball so poorly as these first 26 minutes. I know Liverpool are so adept at closing down the spaces, but they haven't got going at all, the Gunners, with the ball at the feet.
Can't recall an involvement for Pepe yet. He also had that chance which he said might have been judged offside. He's looking for Pepe in the middle.
Well, they're playing quite narrow, aren't they, Pepe and Nelson, to allow the full-backs or the wing-backs to get on the outside, but that just hasn't happened so far. And as a result, quite often Nelson can't get across like he did there because he is in field.
Here's Robertson. Wijnaldum. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Shot might be on this time, and it was spotted by Granit Xhaka. Cross for Salah. Saying it came off the Arsenal man.
Yeah. Very quick to anticipate, but yeah, might have just been off initially.
Arsenal can't get out of their own half. Robertson stepping in. We talk about recruitment, we talk about Alisson and Van Dijk, but what about getting Andy Robertson? Bargain he's turned out to be, the squad from Hull City.
Yeah, can be done, can't it? And I think that's probably the route that Arsenal should take. They haven't got lots of money to spend, and Arteta undoubtedly is a good coach, capable of improving younger players on the training pitch.
Why haven't they got lots of money to spend so much? Is that financial fair play? Here's Cedric.
Not been in the Champions League over the
Yes.
last few years. They've got a high wage bill.
Well, of course, one of the highest wage is Edu, who is part of the management structure here. But Mesut Ozil still not deemed quite right. I understand he might be fit. He's been training again. He might be fit for maybe a cameo at Wembley on Saturday, the last 2 league games.
Not sure there's anything wrong with him, actually.
Fair enough.
It might just be a line that has been spun.
Certainly nothing wrong with Guendouzi of a physical nature anyway. He's not sorting himself out as Arsenal try and get in, and Robertson gets a bit lucky then. Goes out off Nelson for a goal kick.
Those Liverpool defenders haven't had to turn, chase a little ball just behind them. Not bad effort from Xhaka, that.
Holding's header. The signing of the likes of Tierney, that's a very good acquisition, I guess. Maybe Arsenal's equivalent of Robertson. Fellow Scott.
Yeah, very much in the same mould. Old school, gets on with it, loves the tackle.
Cedric's just signed a 4-year deal, having come initially on loan from Southampton. But it is just getting those, what you call, special players. Certainly a special central defender might be the target if they can find one in their price range. Always easy to find, and if you find them, where they come to, that's without European football might be difficult. Here's Pepe. First real run from his favourite right side. Torreira. Now Cedric. For Arsenal to stay in the game here, and like I said, gives it the full hammer. The flag did go up.
He looked off by some distance there. Frustrating half an hour for Arsenal centre forward, blimey.
Pressure by Nelson on Van Dijk, mistake by Van Dijk, a gift for Lacazette, and Liverpool have presented Arsenal with an equaliser here, and having sung the praises of Virgil van Dijk, look what's just happened.
Well, Kolasinac did something very similar at Tottenham the other day, but we do not expect this of probably the world's best defender. Just a lapse in concentration trying to find Fabinho. Doesn't see Lacazette perhaps, I don't know. He's appealing for a little foul there, but he's never going to get it. Lacazette, I said it had been frustrating half an hour. Feel much better now.
Van Dijk believes that's what caused the mistake. What will VAR decide?
I would be amazed if they give a foul there.
Check complete. 1-1. There was no reprieve for the Liverpool captain tonight. It's on a good spell at the moment, Lacazette. Scored in the win at Wolves, scored in the defeat at Tottenham. He's made it 1-1 here, and staying in the game, this was what can happen, even against the champions.
Well, they needed something to lift them because they'd been really sluggish, and that should do the trick.
It's Xhaka. By Cedric. Stops it getting to the two arriving at the far post. It's Arsenal's first attempt. needed a lot of assistance from the opposition to manufacture it, but it's in the book, as they say. We talked about goals in this fixture, but that's an odd one. The advantage played by Portini, Salah. Oxlade Chamberlain. That's another casual one from Fabinho. And Pepe, he's got to go it alone here. 1 against 3. And there's the insurance.
Just needed a little trick in that. Something to outwit the defender.
That's a powerful run from Bukayo Saka. He's giving away a foul. Well, there's the shake of the head that sums it up.
It has tilted the balance of this match, as you'd expect.
In 10 minutes, you feel, before half-time here. Still visibly encouraged. Trying to get back in smooth football, right in the groove up to that point. By Wijnaldum. They played okay at Manchester City, strangely enough. Villa, they had to work hard. Villa dug in. And they were good at Brighton. And Jurgen Klopp will tell you, they were very good against Burnley, but they came up against Nick Pope, England goalkeeper, in superb form. Oxlade Chamberlain. Off goes Mane. Okay, Liverpool has now been wiped out. Get in front again. Salah to nod towards it, and then in his frustration, it's good work by Saka, who is a greenhorn at this level, really. You have to say that. He's taken to Premier League football to the manner born, really.
Yeah, I mean, for one so young, he can switch his defensive head on if he needs to, and he's certainly got a creative side.
And 4 or 5 different positions. By Oxlade Chamberlain and by Firmino. Lacazette forced it through as he was challenged but not fouled. Salah. Jolted out of their stride a little bit by the nature of the equaliser.
Yeah, I think it surprised everybody out on that pitch.
Here's Holding.
He's on this time. Oh, thought he bent his run. And the flag did go up.
Gomez. The space for Firmino. Reclaimed by Mane. Taking out to Robertson. Robertson's cross. To stoop to clear it away, Rob Holding. I think he thought it was coming in a bit higher than that. He was to half volley it away with his head. deep one. And, in the end, pulling away was Mane. To loop it back over Martinez, if that's what he was trying to do.
Yeah, just pulled off Torreira. Not an easy one to execute.
For Cedric.
He lost a contact lens.
Comes thick and fast still. Everton against Aston Villa, a very important game, of course. Dean Smith's team tomorrow from 5:30, Sky Sports main event. At the same time, Leicester v Sheffield United, which is on the Sky Sports Premier League channel. And on Friday night, goodness me, winner stays up. Is it like that? West Ham or Watford. For Nelson to chase. Robinson, the outlet again. Alan, Andy Robertson seen plenty of the ball.
Yeah, he has. There's been space down that flank for him, and he's delivered well. Not surprisingly, he's done that all season.
Firmino's touch was shrewd and effective. There's a double ricochet there. It's a goal kick.
We've only got Salah in there. I think that's why maybe he delayed, waiting for Firmino to join him.
6 years with Arsenal. Twice winner of the FA Cup. He's got one goal against the Gunners since he's moved to Liverpool. It was in that 5-all extravaganza.
That's a
Carabao Cup.
great move, I think, to leave. It was based on ambition, I think.
Well, it's worked out, hasn't it? With great respect to the club that he left.
It came at a time under Arsene Wenger. I don't think he knew his best position. He played in a few, and he was unable to find any rhythm because of that, I think.
Here's Salah. Switch of play, full back to the other. Brought out by Holding, running into trouble in the shape of Fabinho. Salah played in by Firmino. Couldn't take advantage of it. He gets it back and then looks down the amount of anger. Mane.
Well, maybe he should be angry with himself, giving that one away. Yeah, it was late. Little kick out.
It's amazing how big defenders suddenly get very, very angry with their forward who deigns to do something to them that they might be doing day in, day out, week in, week out.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Forwards are allowed to tackle. A couple of minutes to go to half-time. It's been interesting. Liverpool suddenly started making some terrible mistakes, and Nelson punishes another one. And Arsenal, to general surprise, lead the champions by 2-1. It's been kamikaze in the back from Liverpool.
Yeah, 2 howlers, 2 goals for the Gunners. He cannot believe what he's seeing out there. Having already gifted Arsenal 1, he didn't expect it to happen again. This time Alisson's the culprit, but they've been clinical in exposing those mistakes. And Reece Nelson taking his first league goal really well out there.
It's a big moment for a young player. Not for the experienced goalkeeper. I mean, that was the blueprint that Arsenal were talking about. Get Van Dijk, get Alisson, or the equivalent that you can get. And each has made a costly mistake, and Arsenal have grabbed 2 goals against the run of play. They can contemplate now going in half-time in front, but maybe Liverpool have other ideas. Oxlade-Chamberlain certainly had other ideas. Well held by Martinez.
Yeah, sharp shot, short backlip.
Two added minutes. Just offside for Saka. It was a strange moment, Alan, yesterday in Mikel Arteta's press conference when he was asked, did he think it would be 0-0? Very strange approach. Gave a diplomatic answer, but if you look at the record between these 2 clubs, 0-0's few and far between, and we're grateful as football fans that is the case.
Well, he has tightened Arsenal up. They're no longer conceding so many shots on their own goal, but apart from watertight.
Now, I think they've got defenders who've got mistakes in them, and Jurgen Klopp hasn't had that.
No.
But he said there's no book that tells you how to play when you are champions with so many games to go. These players are human. If quite literally they take the eye off the ball, then this can happen. Of course, in terms of pursuing the records that are still within Liverpool's reach, this is far from helpful for the champions. Holding on him, Mane. Those 2 aren't the best of friends at the moment. Despite the little smile from Sadio, a little back chat from Rob Holding. This is where it can be fun, just listening to the natural effects in the stadium rather than our fake crowd. Not worth falling out about. Well, half-time, extraordinary really. A mistake by Virgil van Dijk, followed by a mistake by Alisson. 2 men who have done so much to make Liverpool champions. And the goals accrued for the lively Lacazette and for the admirable Nelson. All this after Sadio Mane still chuntering as he goes off and given Liverpool what looked a deserved lead, but they trailed 2-1 at half-time. Extraordinary.
You deserve more than a bank for a better future. On-post money for your world.
Cut no slack by Paul Tierney.
He's that kind of player. Ball's there. He'll try and go for it.
It was interesting. Liverpool were out early for the second half. We saw likes of Keita and Origi doing a more extravagant warm-up than the other substitutions, no changes. He got us into this mess. Go and get us out of it. That's the approach, I think, from Jurgen Klopp.
That was close.
Here's Harrison. Doesn't look as as though they've cleared the problem during the half-time team talk.
Once you've fallen into that kind of rhythm, it's hard to get out of it.
Each season there's usually detailed analysis from the coaches about what's worked, what systems have been played. But the one that would fascinate many of us is the risk and reward playing from the back. How many goals have been conceded in extraordinary circumstances? How many goals has it led to at the other end? This is the way the top teams want to play. It does encourage a high press, and Arsenal fancying that now, having just a couple of goals from it. They get the ball, and that's at least a free kick. Mikel Arteta had a very good view of that. It's closer to it than referee Paul Tierney. Alexander-Arnold does get the yellow.
Saka was just very quick here.
How different was that to Eddie Nketiah's?
No, I don't think it was quite such a dangerous challenge. Not quite so much force. I mean, I thought Nketiah was a little unlucky on the night, I have to say.
Saka is there. Players around him. And it was definitely handball.
Away again. Well, always does look worse in slow motion and freeze frame, but gets away with that one in terms of avoiding a red.
Top of the fair play league have been this couple of years. Robertson, Firmino. Deciding to go outside, he's making you run inside. Doing that with the ball now. It's a cross. Touch for Alexander-Arnold, hits it against Salah. It goes out in the end to Robertson. 1, 2, 3, 4 had a go at it. And Arsenal do high fives because they just about survived.
Well, there's a bit of defiance in there, determination to defend the goal, to get the bodies in the way. There's enough bodies in there.
So good at corners. Still to take the ball better than they did. Toby Alderweireld last in Tottenham's winner on Sunday. Gomez can't get there. Now Fabinho. They are vulnerable at Arsenal when they do get in front. That's 21 points in all. Arteta.
We have won a lot of points from losing positions as well, haven't we? It's been swings and roundabouts at times.
For a game in which there's not that much riding on it for Liverpool. We started off by saying Arsenal's best route into Europe would be probably through the FA Cup. Full tilt. Mane. Wijnaldum. Salah. It wasn't Salah who got the contact. It was Mane in the end. Trying to move infield and got him the goal in the first half.
Yeah, good play for Mane. He starts it and he nearly finishes it there on the stretch.
Selection. Robertson then comes Oxlade-Chamberlain at pace. Great cross on the run, but Martinez saw it, snared it.
That's what he's been good at since coming into the team, deciding when to stay, when to go. His handling has been secure.
Tough by Van Dijk. It's Gomez. Chamber. Down the side of Tierney. Saw it coming and dealt with it. Great composure. He's 23 now, he looks younger. A lot of success in Scotland. He was ready for the battle, but because he came here with an injury, then he dislocated his shoulder the night we were at West Ham.
Maybe there's a little bit of homesickness when he first came. And, the lads had to get around him, and seems to have got over that now. Certainly on the pitch. Some rewards.
There's to be a lot more Scots playing in England than well, these days. Robertson. Fabinho. Quite a scout for Mikel Arteta. Great way to warm up for the FA Cup semi-final. There's a fair bit to go and a fair bit to do before you're determined to turn this around. Van Dijk. He's found Alexander-Arnold, who's cut it back. Here's Salah, and it's right under his feet, really. Couldn't dig out a powerful shot. And Martinez came up with an answer.
Well, it's a set move, isn't it? Alexander-Arnold knows that his centre-half's going to look for him in that position, and he times his run. Lovely footwork. Really nice. Completely selling David Luiz. Generating power.
Dijk maybe was fouled. His right foot not as dangerous as his left, and not as dangerous as his goal scoring head. So, not pleased. Keita still remembering as he was at half time. With emphasis. Side option. The 5 substitutes rule's been extended by the lawmakers. It's up to the individual leagues whether they use it next season.
Well, I hope the Premier League don't. I really do. I thought it was just a short-term measure. I think it does favour the bigger sides with the bigger, better squads.
Of Salah as Arsenal prepare at least one change, maybe 2. Aubameyang, Joe Willock, Danny Ceballos getting ready as well. So he does his share of challenging back for the team. So here comes the captain. And pretty good weapon on the counter-attack too. That's how this last 35 minutes is going to be played out.
Yeah, Arteta, sure, eager to try and gain a bit of control again. Ceballos should give them, or help in that direction in the middle of the park.
I think it's sensible to get Torreira off. Yellow card so early in the second half. As you pointed out, Alan, his natural game is to go looking for a ball, which he doesn't always get. The partnership between Dani Ceballos and Granit Xhaka renewed, working quite well recently. The rested striker replaces the starting striker. The goal scorer Reece Nelson is off as well for Joe Willock. Positionally, that's rich, if not numerically. Here's Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold. Firmino. Fabinho.
Looks like Arsenal playing without a centre forward at the moment. Willock's the most central. Aubameyang on the right, Pepe on the left.
Chamberlain thought he'd be offside. Ball went in that area of Salah. Thought he was doing a 1-2 with Alexander-Arnold. Van Dijk. It's hard when you play so well in a game and you lose your way to get that magic back again. Liverpool still striving to do that. Of course, they are capable of getting. They're going to need some help from the substitutes, it seems. Van Dijk flipping it out to Alexander-Arnold. The move is Oxlade-Chamberlain down to Liverpool's purpose, but the execution is failing them. Fabinho. Alexander-Arnold. Mane coming in the back, but in front of him was Wijnaldum.
Yeah, it's quite handy in the air, Wijnaldum. But although they've made mistakes in this restart, Arsenal, they are more organised now. You can see the shape of that back five quite often working together. Minamino being part of a rescue act here. By Aubameyang. Efficient Arsenal. Yes.
Gomez. Talk about Arsenal dropping points from winning positions. Liverpool dropped their first 2 points from a winning position when they only drew with Burnley at the weekend. Winning here. See what comes off. Firmino for Firmino. It's the third position. Firmino roll. Oxlade-Chamberlain, the happiest to return to the Emirates. To the others now.
As far as Minamino is concerned, we've just seen bits and pieces, haven't we, this season. We'll get a better idea of the next campaign, the exact role that Jurgen Klopp has in mind for him.
prepared to sit in. Wijnaldum. Keita. Now on to Mane. It's Minamino. Oh, he got into a shooting position very cleverly.
Yeah, he's got a sharp brain and a quick body. Turned well and didn't hesitate to try his luck.
If you joined us late, lots of action in the first half on Sky Sports main event. You can recap all of that by pressing the red button. Won by Van Dijk. Xhaka managing to maneuver the ball away, but not kicking it sufficient distance to get himself a booking. Being encouraged by a piece of action just now. And Liverpool get a free kick. Arsenal's resolve really being put to the test, you feel now.
They'll be anxious to make amends, I'm sure.
Buying up the angles. He leaves it for Alexander-Arnold. It's a sensible header in the end from Granit Xhaka. More the way he was facing. Cost of the corner though. Alexander-Arnold in that area which used to be the visiting fans. That's the fear for Arsenal. Well with Willock. Keita. Minamino. That might have been offside. But mattered little in the end.
It's all a bit tight there, but Minamino's made a difference since coming on. He's looked very lively. Seen a fair bit of the ball, which I've enjoyed.
Yes, there's the Liverpool crest. Arsenal have been doing this for their home games in the area where the visiting fans would be.
I'll be back there one day.
One day soon. So to say. Players have got used to playing in these circumstances behind closed doors. So the level of action and the pace and the tempo of the matches have been quicker. It's moved on from that rather tentative start June the 17th.
There's always something missing from my game now without the crowd.
Most of it good. It's Wijnaldum. Yeah, I think fans felt unappreciated. Sometimes they do. They are really appreciated now through these circumstances. We can't wait to have them back in the stadium. And I know the authorities are looking at all sorts of ways, maybe with much lower capacities to start with, but moving in the right direction. Mane, Liverpool moving in the right direction here. They're still 2-1 down through two individual mistakes. Latter stages of the first half. Played sumptuously really from the outset. Still couldn't get out of their own half. Mane did score. Wants to cut it back again. And Dyke is in there. And Minamino thinks he was fouled. It didn't quite go to ground.
No, Tierney, I think it was, just did enough in there. Did he disturb him? That's a lovely ball from Alexander-Arnold. Side, but Tierney maybe just gets a handful of Minamino's shirt.
Sometimes we say players go to ground too easily. But why do they do it? And that's your answer, really. If he'd sprawled out, maybe had a better chance. So, you're damned if you do, but damned if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's not often you would get a penalty just by standing on your feet like that. I'm not sure Tierney did enough to warrant a pen.
I just wonder whether Jurgen Klopp was frustrated generally at the chance one or two players involved didn't lead to an equaliser, or whether he was annoyed with Minamino for not making the most of the contact on him.
Yeah, our old manager at Arsenal, George Graham, always used to tell us to go down in that kind of tussle. He'd have a go at us, I just think we didn't.
That's a fair time ago now, isn't it? It's not as though it's a recent phenomenon. Maybe with VAR, that shouldn't be needed now. Here, if it's being looked at, I guess they run the eye over everything, but there's no message. We can hear the messages to the referee from Stockley Park. It came through.
It just forces the issue a little bit when the player just go down. Makes a meal of it, as it were.
Mane. Arteta must be worried. The pressure is intense. Gomez. Robinson. Free from Keita. To Fabinho. Looks like it's the goalkeeper, so he's come a long way, but he does that, Emi Martinez, with confidence.
One-way traffic. Aubameyang's on his bike. Oh. Someone else didn't look that way.
Aubameyang coming onto his favourite left side. Was sprinting through. Ball played down that channel.
It's a curious Arsenal shape, really, without a central striker.
Robertson. This is Keita. In from Mane. For Salah's header, but it's a soft one. I think he thought really he was going to get the ball at him rather than in front of him where he can attack it.
Should have done better, though. It's a beautiful pick out.
Van Dijk. Getting pressure from Pepe. Here's Mane. Got some room. Robertson wanting to join in. Pepe. So just need to find a way of at least involving and engaging Liverpool further up the pitch. So, running through the middle, rein it in.
Not seen him playing that kind of advanced position through the middle before, Willer. They're trying to crowd the midfield, Arsenal, but it's certainly not stemming the flow.
Mane. From Minamino. Comes Pepe. On with Robertson. And, Robertson might have been winning that duel, but Minamino stepped in. A little bit later than usual. We do have a drinks break. Very pleasant July evening here in the capital. A chance for us to go down memory lane. Certainly for you, Alan. This is what Highbury is now. Residential area, but there's stands, protected, listed buildings.
Yeah, still look beautiful, the east and the west.
I'm sure in those flats, many televisions tuned to our coverage. Just half a mile away. They haven't won the league since they left Highbury. That's the fans know me too well. Invincibles.
Lovely.
Some memories up on the wall of the Emirates. Was a way to win it. Liverpool very close to being invincible this season. That's the record. It's the clock from the old ground. So at the moment, the new stadium, or the relatively new stadium anyway.
There we go.
I thought
It had to happen.
I know.
Got there in the end.
Michael Thomas got the second goal. Who got the first one?
I don't like to go on about it.
Nobody at all claims you for going on about it. It's an historic night for this football club and for you as a footballer. And the Liverpool fans that are watching this, we hate it. We're reminded of it.
Yeah, it's old enough to remember.
Anyway, there's, I guess we've added time, some 20 minutes to go here. Nothing has changed in the second half. It's some personnel, but not the scoreline. Keita. Now Van Dijk. About winning the title early. You won it. That was very late that year anyway. 89. The very last game.
Yeah, I mean, when we won it in 91, we won it with 2 games to spare. So, understand to a certain extent how the Liverpool players are feeling. As much as you want to be at the top level, something in your brain that doesn't let you.
They're still striving for it. And Van Dijk coming at the far post. Liverpool still trail at the Emirates.
Yeah, it was hung up 10.
Coming at the far post. Liverpool still trail at the Emirates. Niles is coming on for Cedric. Might have got the 90 minutes here, but he hasn't played that much recently. He can't play on Saturday. Playing the FA Cup for Southampton earlier in the competition.
Yeah, talk as to whether he'll be here next season. Maitland-Niles, whether he sees his future at Arsenal. Not getting too many look-ins at the moment.
On by Aubameyang. Trying to chase. Caught out by Robertson. Now Keita. 5 years since Arsenal last beat Liverpool. Trained by Mourinho. Saka going at full tilt to keep it in play. Nice again. the fun of the fair.
Yeah, that first touch wasn't quite what he wanted, I don't think.
He's going to be able to unlock the door here. So striving. Players having turn at playmaking, really.
It's interesting.
I think he would have deliberately played it as a back pass. Checker. To just tweak something sliding in. With the semi-final to come. Any recovery time, really.
It's not often, actually, a ref deems him deliberate.
Any recovery time, really.
It's not often, actually, a ref deems him deliberate.
These days. Opportunity for us to face Burnley. Conscious races run, really, but Burnley are having an amazing time. And very low budget players leaving on June the 30th. New deals forthcoming. Another late goal today to get a point. Spurs, who've won well at Newcastle. It hasn't been a season without a North London team. Newcastle then go to Brighton. Without a North London team in the top 5. Sometimes 2, obviously, in the intervening years. Since 1995. It could happen this season. Spurs struggling to get to part of the table. Jose Mourinho's had another good day today.
I mean, 3 points for Arsenal here. Unexpected, really, at the start. But they've got Aston Villa away, Watford at home. There's a chance for them to finish their season strongly. In a good frame of mind and look forward with a bit of optimism.
Yes, that makes it a very big 15 minutes as Liverpool continue to play in this part of the pitch. Fabinho with purpose. Mane. Robertson taking the low road here. Salah, likewise. It's a training ground exercise for the Arsenal team as a defensive unit. Break it down if you can, is the message. Mane, Keita, Alexander-Arnold running off. Bukayo Saka ran offside. Dan Cook thought so. Alexander-Arnold didn't. Changes, and here's a rare sight. Shaqiri. Last appearance was in January. Seen a bit more of Divock Origi. Xhaka. Saka. By Gomez. He went for the ball. Perhaps not even that much chance of getting it. Granit Xhaka. VAR are having a look at the nature of the challenge. The other card's out already.
That's himself in the challenge. Well, certainly caught him with his stud, but
It's one foot, isn't it?
yeah, the boot was fairly low and he didn't get some of the ball, as well as the toe of Clinton.
Review and the completion of it. It's done very quickly. It's Craig Pawson, Stockley Park. Mane. This kind of deflection sometimes fall for forwards, but not falling for Liverpool in the second half.
No, I mean, if it's going to happen, you sense it will come through Sadio Mane. He's looked maybe the most likely path for Liverpool.
Here's Pepe. Smiling bewilderment, really. Does allow whichever way the throw goes, substitutions to be made. Shaqiri's had a persistent calf problem, and when you look at his calves, they're very muscular.
Well, can't believe he'll want to stick around if he's not going to get many games at all, Shaqiri.
It's the same line for Origi as well. Big question marks asked about Liverpool's backup players. Some of them are very young. Nico Williams, who's appeared in the last 5 Premier League games. Harvey Elliott, only 17. Curtis Jones, who scored that goal, his first Premier League goal against Aston Villa. Here's Shaqiri. By Alexander Arnold, met by David Luiz. Those defenders want the likes are willing to control balls like that and get past along the field. Back pedal again at the back. Origi threw himself to the ground, then handled it.
You can't do that.
Of course, you can't expect it to be 100% correct, and that's coming on for Arteta. You've articulated it very well, Alan, about the difficulties even when you had 2 games to spare. Well, I think you got a hat-trick in one of them, didn't you?
I did. Manchester United were very kind in allowing me to get that.
I think your teammates were very kind. They let you take a penalty.
Lee Dixon stepped aside, yeah.
Lee Dixon is here tonight. It's just not happening. No. The final third for the champions. Sort of half-knowing look from Jurgen Klopp. Well, they told me this might happen. We'll be at our best for this game. Kolasinac didn't make that unfortunate error. Everyone's human. The error that put Tottenham back in the game in the North London derby so soon after Lacazette had given the Gunners the lead. He's going to stay in Saka's position. Tierney's going to stay at the back, so trading places from what it has been in the previous lineups. A few games now.
I think they feel that back three, it's working well together. Why disturb it?
5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Here is the dangerous Mane. Can he finish it off here? He's pretty wide, but there's a challenge on him. He's not really complaining about it.
No. Shove, was it Maitland-Niles did enough to unbalance him? I said he looks the man most likely. He's got behind Maitland-Niles, but when that happens, you just got to do something to put off your man, and I think the Arsenal substitute did just that.
Really motivated Mane. By Gomez. Arsenal in no hurry. A feather in the cap of Mikel Arteta. I can see it through here. Goes off Alexander Arnold. It's a clever throw in behind. He has to get a touch. The corner, but suspect will not be rushed. Second corner, all the stats, apart from the one at the top of your screen, in Liverpool's favour. Attempts on goal, attempts on target. Gunners lead 2-1. Time is on their side. Aubameyang.
Aubameyang helping take the corner tells you something about their adventure for that corner, Arsenal.
Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold. Shaqiri. Excellent left foot of his. That's his header. Origi. City fans will be cheering Arsenal on here. Maybe two famous records of City will definitely be intact. It's a draw. It's to equal those marks. To overtake them, they need 2 goals. Much more than 2 minutes plus added time.
Yeah, I mean, as much as the Liverpool players would like to break that record, it's not going to drive them on in this kind of situation. Just get the feeling Jurgen Klopp and his players just want to be handed the trophy now and they can go away on holiday for a week or 2.
Willock was fouled. It's Alexander-Arnold cross on the run. It's not a great header from David Luiz. And Mane trying to come up with another goal. Keita has a go. It's held on. It's a feature of Martinez's goalkeeping. He doesn't just make the saves, but he catches the ball whenever he can.
Yeah, and he's caught a lot more difficult ones than this. Ones that have bounced up on him and got a little deflection.
Word from down on the touchline is 5 added minutes. Ever from Ceballos. Didn't get my joke about him on Sunday. Alan about being a hairdresser. I said he could earn more as a hairdresser at the moment than as a Premier League footballer. He said, he earns a lot as a Premier League player.
That's very good, man. Yeah, made a bit of a mess of it, really. Yeah, made a bit of a mess of it, really. Cutting across it. Coming on to it, he had plenty of time to decide what he wanted to do, to compose himself, to just try and get a decent strike on target. And if he had done that, chances are he would have scored.
5 minute board is up. Really can't force a way through. Arsenal can't play their way out. Really challenges back. Arsenal get the throw. And the point was that hairdressers at the moment were
No,
in demand.
I got it.
Oh, you
It
did?
just wasn't a joke, that was all. That wasn't funny.
As usual then. Nothing different.
I understood what you're on about.
But he was a trainee hairdresser before he broke into top class football in Spain. That was the hook. Plenty of low was.
Oh, it's come from a distance there as well, and his man.
The hook. Plenty of low was.
Oh, it's come from a distance there as well, and his man. And the gum shield, he's always messing about with it, Ceballos.
Breaks down for Liverpool again. He's perplexed.
Yeah, it's not one for the show reel, this. plenty of stuff that's gone on out there. He hasn't seen for most of the season. But that's human nature for you.
Certainly great purpose, Arsenal. Still finding it difficult to get any controlled possession in this half of the pitch, but they might now. But Gomez repositioned well enough in any way. Aubameyang was offside. Defeat at Watford, defeat at Manchester City. Of course, they only lost the one league game last season to Manchester City and Manchester. Liverpool losing is a very rare event in the Premier League, but they haven't lost yet. Salah. Here's Alisson coming into the centre circle. Van Dijk. Robertson. Gomez. Robertson gets it in. Tobias trying to get a free kick out of that. Not the line that Paul Tierney might just suit Liverpool. Alexander Arnold getting one of his vintage crosses. He only tops the ball boy. Actually, not very good at it, as it turned out.
They're all lining up for it there when Alexander Arnold shaped up for a cross. Van Dijk stayed up.
So he should really. Clipped in by Robertson. Good lead by David Luiz. Keita. Robertson saying, I'm going to hang it up there again. David Luiz is up there well again. Arsenal's trying to win it back. Arsenal can't do that. It's the goalkeeper in a back 10 now. Mane still trying to come up with the magic again. Another corner.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Mane. He's been superb, especially in this second half when he's just tried to drag his teammates forward. He's never stopped trying.
A couple of days ago, 2-1 to the home team became 2-2 at Old Trafford, didn't it, in the 95th, 96th minute? Another corner. Despite those Xhaka protests. Hanging on is a bit of an understatement, but Arsenal still lead. Alexander Arnold. Last real shot in anger, and it was deflected. Martinez flying across the goal. It might not be the last shot. There's time for the corner to be taken. Well, this is it. Last roll of this particular dice for the champions. Dijk is in there. Rigi's in there. And the ball ends up in the net, but the whistle had already gone. Tierney was down.
Yeah, Rigi catching him. That should be that. Arsenal probably wonder how they're going to end up winning this, but win it they look like doing. It's another tricky one for Martinez, the deflected shot from Alexander Arnold. Bit of spin on it, might have been fine in the corner.
Shaqiri it was who put it in with that excellent left foot. Just a reminder, even though the whistle had gone. He thinks the win is in the bag, and he's absolutely right. Well, rather than be distracted by their upcoming FA Cup semi-final, Arsenal have warmed up for it. Bang goes Liverpool's chance of 100 points and a record number of Premier League wins. Champions after 30 years should be more than enough. Although Jurgen Klopp might not see it that way tonight because it was somewhat suicidal mistakes by Van Dijk and Alisson. Set up goals. Arsenal when they were already 1-0 down. First for Lacazette, the second for this young man, Reece Nelson, who ends up with the honour of scoring the winning goal tonight. In a way, it was a A strange game, but Arsenal have beaten Klopp's Liverpool for the first time, and a point for Mikel Arteta to be proud of, really. They remain undefeated here in the Premier League in 2020. Yes, Liverpool played their part in the way the goals came, but Arsenal took their chances, and the champions have lost at the Emirates Stadium by 2-1.
Have a route to Europe along two possible journeys through a top 7 finish, which is still possible, and also the FA Cup, which they contest the semi-final against Manchester City this week. I wonder what he's making of all this. He won't want this season to fizzle out for Liverpool, but 8 points dropped in 5 games now since winning the title. And his unbeaten run against Arsenal gone, as well as Liverpool manager. But a very proud moment for young Reece Nelson. That was the second shot that Arsenal had all evening after Lacazette had opened the scoring. They only had one more after those 2 mistakes which set up those 2 Arsenal goals in the first half. Strange sort of game, but they've taken the 3 points tonight, the Gunners. And this is how it's finished elsewhere this evening. Burnley managed to take a point from Wolves late on, a hotly contested and debated penalty from Chris Wood in the 90th minute after Raul Jimenez had thought he'd won it for Wolves. City beating Bournemouth 2-1 earlier live on Sky. Terrific free kick from David Silva to get them on their way. David Brooks thought he'd managed to get Bournemouth back in the game. They couldn't find an equaliser late on, and Spurs beating Newcastle 3-1, 2 goals there for Harry Kane. You can see all of tonight's Premier League goals on the Sky Sports app, on the website, and the Sky Sports Football YouTube channel. So this is how it leaves things. There will be no points record for Liverpool, a maximum of 99 now, which would still beat their previous best of 97 from last season. There's been movement below them, though, this evening. Spurs up to 7th place on 55 in the race for Europa League football. Sheffield United dropping to 8th there in action tomorrow. Arsenal staying in 9th, but have closed the gap. 53 points, them now just 2 behind their North London rivals again. And at the bottom, nothing for Bournemouth this evening. That gap to safety stays at 3 points. Their goal difference is 4 inferior to Watford, 10 worse than West Ham's. And those two, West Ham and Watford, excuse me, remember, meet on Friday. Aston Villa, if they win tomorrow night, can get within a point of those two. And then it gets really interesting. And we'll watch them in action tomorrow night, live on Sky Sports, when they go to Goodison Park from 5:30, Sky Sports main event. We're also watching Leicester chasing the Champions League against Sheffield United, so determined to get Europa League football next season. That is also a 6 o'clock kickoff. That's on Sky Sports Premier League. And next week we have the match between Liverpool and Chelsea, which also features the trophy lift for Liverpool. All the celebrations, all the reactions from 8 o'clock on Sky Sports main event. And Brad Pitt embarks on a mission to Neptune as fearless astronaut Roy McBride, searching for the truth about his missing father and a mysterious power surge threatening the universe. It's available Friday on Sky Cinema. Graham doesn't seem convinced by Give it a try, you'll never know. Graham Souness and Sol Campbell to give their reaction next on